Hi there, this is Denise Boston and welcome to Day 7. And today in Day 7 we're going to look at overcoming negativity in your life and finding inner resources. Now as human beings we have a propensity to look for the negative, and we do that in order to fight off any danger. It comes from our ancient brain, if you like. But it's important also to not be afraid of negativity. Now people think about, being the opposite and being positive. Now being positive doesn't mean taking a look at the world through rose-coloured glasses or having a Pollyanna type of view. Rather, it's to find a positive and look at it realistically to see what good can come from any situation. Sometimes what goes wrong is a prompting for you to make a change. It's important not to hide away from our thoughts, our feelings or behaviours, and that instead look at them as being there to help us in some way. And our behaviour may be unsupportive, but it's important to recognise negativity when it arises in yourself or in others and deal with it so that you can observe the situation and make it work for you. It's also important to remember that we actually stop our creative flow by allowing a negative energy to block us. We short circuit and disrupt our positive state. And a critical or depreciating thought on ourselves can cause a chain reaction, which can affect you on all kinds of levels of life. For example, lots of people have the thought, I'm not good enough. And that thought, I'm not good enough, can plunge you into a negative state and depression, which will lead you to indecision and inaction. And there's no need to remind you about how terrible you can feel about yourself once you get going on a roll. So the good news is that once you know how to change, you can re-energize that positive circuit. You can create a balance of positive energy, of feeling good and of well-being. So here's an example how to transform negative, and it demonstrates something that's really vitally important. That anything negative, a negative condition that you closely take a look at, you will find the possibility for change in it. It will be lying in its centre, and that's where the message will be for you. So face up to negative energy and find out exactly how it affects your life. Become the observer of it, and then you'll find those insights and steps to take to overcome it, to learn and move on. And this is a really good positive approach to negativity, and it works every time. So there are tools now that I want to share with you that you can use to overcome any form of negative energy. And we'll do this exercise just in a moment. In the first part of this exercise, what I want you to do is to think back to an occasion when you faced, self-doubt or some negativity of some kind, but you were able to move yourself through it. Now think about that from this state you were able to move yourself through, and I want you to ask yourself these questions. How did you do it? What were the personal qualities that you recognized and that you called upon in that moment? Was it the feeling, an attitude, a reframing of how you think? How did your thought processes work? What did you learn about yourself? So what I'd like you to do today is to write in your journal or on a piece of paper that you're going to keep 3 challenges that have pushed you in the past into that negative state, but which you went on to overcome and triumph. Now when you've done that, the next part of this exercise is to look at each one separately and ask yourself the following questions. Why did I go under? And how long did I stay there? And what change in attitude or thought caused my energy to lift and enable me to face that challenge or negativity? How did I overcome it in other ways? How do I feel now when I look back at this situation? What was it that made me strong and determined to move through it? Now, by looking back and reflecting on the difficulty in a positive way, you find the things that you did and did well. And you begin to gain insights and inner resources in your process of dealing with situations. And through these insights, you're going to discover so much about yourself, your resourcefulness, your inner strengths, and your capacity to bounce back. Reflection on how you did that, and perhaps could do it better in the future, will add to the pool of your inner resources. And you can also go back in your mind and move through those scenarios and choose different ways that you could have overcome those situations more positively. And as you do this, you are actually creating a new index for your subconscious mind to build new and even better resources that it can call upon in the future. Also use the awareness of what you learned and remind yourself that you can and will overcome anything that presents itself to you in the future.